Well, the beginning of the end is upon us when it comes to stimulus check number 4. This is an absolutely critical time that we are entering into right now, and it is literally make it or break it. Let's get into it and talk about all these details and what we can expect over the coming days and weeks and why this time is so incredibly important. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as this is a very important time to be part of this community. As I've said before, the more people we have here, the greater the impact and influence that we have going forward, especially as we make these calls for a fourth stimulus check and to raise benefits for all of these beneficiaries like Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and VA benefits. So, let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about. There is a lot going on this week, next week, and for the next few weeks until Congress leaves once again for an extended period of time for their annual summer recess. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to enter into any of my opinions. We've talked about that before. Let's just focus on the content. All right. Anyway, it is going to be a very busy week. And this week, next week, and the next few weeks here are going to be absolutely pivotal when it comes to a fourth stimulus check. And of course, the raises, but realistically, right now, we're mainly focused on that fourth stimulus check because that is what's on the table right now. All right, let me talk you through what is going on and what we can expect, and then we can talk about why this is such an important time right now. All right, so number one, as we know, a couple weeks ago, they came together on that bipartisan deal. Well, Chuck Schumer has said that he's going to be bringing it to the floor in the Senate next week. This is good. We want to get this bill done and over with, out of our way, so we can focus on the next one, the reconciliation bill, which is the one where we are expecting them to add that fourth stimulus check into it. So over their break, Congress was actually gone for a couple weeks over the 4th of July. The average person only got the weekend off and maybe Monday if they were lucky, but except for Congress, they got 2 weeks off. Yeah, that's fair, right? Anyway, again, I'll leave my opinions out of it. But anyway, let's talk through this. So over their break, congressional aides were working feverishly to put together all of the legislation and all of the text for that bipartisan deal or the bipartisan bill. Okay, good. So now Chuck Schumer can bring it to the floor next week, which will be really good, and hopefully they can kind of do everything that they need to do on that thing, get it done and over with, passed, or whatever they need to do, just get it out of our way so that we can move on to the next one. Was actually encouraging about this. Mitch McConnell, he was actually out just a few days ago, and he was encouraged that they're going to come together on something here over the coming days in the Senate on this bipartisan deal. So that's good, because we know Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell, they don't really like to work together, right? They don't like each other. But either way, the fact that they're going to come together on this thing is actually a good thing. It's encouraging. So we can expect that over the coming days. That's fine, okay? So good. Done and over with, fine. We can focus on that and be done with the bipartisan deal. Then we can work and focus on the bipartisan or the reconciliation bill. That is the important one. That is the one where we are expecting them to really add some good stuff in there. So here's what we can expect this week. The Senate Budget Committee is going to be meeting early this week to be hammering out all of the final details of the reconciliation bill and putting together some tallies on what they can expect this bill to actually cost. So as of right now, we've had multiple different numbers floating around out there. We've had Joe Manchin coming out saying he would support $2 trillion. We have Bernie Sanders on the opposite side of the spectrum coming out saying he wants a $6 trillion package. But either way, the Senate Budget Committee will be hammering out all of the tallies on what they can expect the final total of this bill to be sometime this week. Like within the next couple of days here, we should be getting that information. They've said that they're going to be working incredibly fast, and it is going to be a fierce week when it comes to putting all this together. Once they get all this information together, they're going to be sending it over to the House Budget Committee, where they will start drafting all of the text and legislation for the bill. Yes, wow. All this stuff is going to come together very, very fast. But here's the deal. We've heard Nancy Pelosi say this, and President Biden also said it, but he actually walked back on his comments. But Nancy Pelosi is holding strong. She basically said, there will not be one without the other. I'm pretty sure that's a song or maybe a TV show or something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've heard that saying somewhere. There's can't have one without the other, right? Yeah. So anyway, Nancy Pelosi is coming together with that same thought, and she is saying we're not doing one without the other. In other words, we will not push through and pass the bipartisan package without it being accompanied by a massive reconciliation bill. So yeah, they need to start working on these things like right away. Now that we have all that with us, okay, we have all the details here, it's going to be incredibly important to see what they actually add into the reconciliation bill. Now, here's the thing. We expect many more proposals and people to start coming out saying, in the reconciliation bill, we need to add X, Y, and Z, whatever they determine. In fact, just the other day, we had Representative Garcia come out and say, hey, I'm not going to vote for the bill unless we have immigration added into it. Well, in one of my videos the other day, I said, hey, we're going to see a lot more people coming out like this. We're going to see other representatives out of the House. We're going to see other people out of the Senate, senators, who are going to come out with their own proposals and their own ideas and say, we need to add it into the reconciliation bill. Otherwise, guess what? I'm not voting for it. And all we know is that simply one senator alone could hold up the entire bill by simply saying, if we don't add this into it, I'm not voting for it, right? And we need every single senator to come together on this thing and actually vote in favor of it. Otherwise, it could, hold back the entire bill. So yes, it is absolutely critical that every single senator comes together with this thing. So here's the deal. They are in session until early August. Then they leave. So here's the deal. Between now and then, we need to get the bipartisan bill out of our face. Get it out of the way. Let's be done and over with it. Let's just get it out of here. Next, we need to continue to move forward and advance the budget reconciliation bill. It does not necessarily need to be passed, but yet it does need to have some structure, and we need to get a glimpse as to what's going to be in the thing. So here's the thing. I've seen conflicting information from many different sources. Some sources I've looked at say that Chuck Schumer wants to have it passed during this session, during this work period that they're in right now. I've also seen other sources say he just wants to have it like the budget resolution worked through and kind of all the structure of the bill done, and then they can kind of hammer it out and be done with it when they return in mid-September. Either way, we need to have some substantial progress on the reconciliation bill during this work period, basically over the next 3 to 4 weeks or so until before they leave. And that's going to be critically important when it comes to stimulus check number 4. That's why I said at the beginning of this video, it is literally make it or break it time right now. And it is down to the beginning of the end. Because here's the thing. They need to at least, at a minimum, introduce some kind of proposal, some kind of mention, some kind of something. It doesn't really matter the form of it. But we need somebody of influence. Bernie Sanders, I hope you're listening. You're the guy that we're kind of counting on to bring this up. To bring up a 4th stimulus check. It is absolutely critical, because here's the thing. If they don't mention it sometime between now and before they leave on their recess, it's probably not happening, okay? I'm just being totally real with you. That is why it is so incredibly important that we get it done, and at a minimum, we get the thing at least announced and or introduced for the bill before they leave, because when they come back from their recess, they're going to be really down to the wire to get that thing passed. And at that point, is it going to be plausible that they add in a 4th stimulus check? The more time that we waste and the more time that we continue to drag this thing out, the less likely that it is that it actually happens. It is so important that we continue to hammer down right now, turn up the heat on these people, and let them know that a 4th stimulus check is needed. Not for everybody. I just want to make it very clear. Everybody does not need a stimulus check right now. That is very clear. Not everybody needs it. But rather, it is the low-income individuals under $40,000 of annual income, regardless of where the income comes from, including Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB benefits. Right? Everybody needs that 4th stimulus check. So, wow, we're down to it. This is kind of it. It's like, we're in overtime right now, right? It's literally down at overtime. We have a few minutes left on the clock. We need to get the winning points. Otherwise, we're going to have to walk off into the sunset. And it's going to be sad. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very important right now to continue moving forward with everything that we've been pushing for so long. This is what we've been waiting for. This is it. Literally, this is the time frame we've been waiting for. We are in the period right now, and it is so incredibly critical. So we will continue doing everything we possibly can to remind these people every single day that we need that fourth stimulus check, and of course, a more permanent raise, or a more permanent solution, more like, to all of these beneficiaries that we've mentioned throughout this video. They live on these federal benefits who need additional benefits. So, yeah, we have a busy week going on right now. So I will continue watching all this very closely. It is going to be incredibly busy for about the next month or so. And as Chuck Schumer sent out in his letter on Friday to all of his Democratic colleagues, he said, be prepared to work long nights, weekends, and it's going to be fierce. So yeah, absolutely, it will be. And I hope Chuck Schumer holds all of his Democratic colleagues to that, and that they actually get stuff done during this time, rather than just keeping their eyes on the prize, which is their recess, right? Yeah, so anyway, I will keep you posted. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's, the more people that we have here, the greater the impact and influence that we have going forward, especially when we make all of these important calls for additional relief for all of these people. Make sure to go back and check out some of the other videos, like my video from earlier today, where I talked about that letter that I'm sending over to Congress and the President once again. Leave me your feedback on that video as well. That's a really good one. I will link it down below, by the way. That's a really good video and a lot of good feedback so far. So thank you so much to all of you. Check out the videos. Share that video from earlier today with your friends, family, social media, as it is incredibly important as we need to continue moving forward to help out all of these beneficiaries. Thanks, everybody. I truly appreciate it. And I will see you again later in the next video.